Hello.
Welcome to Cozy Podcast.
Happy first day of Christmas, part 2.
I was like, it's not the first day of Christmas.
Just for us.
Well, yeah. No. Is it December 1st?
Yeah.
It is. Wow.
Yeah. Well, for those of you listening, you will be a week into Christmas. But for us, it's the first day of Christmas.
Wow. Yeah, that's... I can't believe it's December already. It's
I know.
jarring.
I saw a meme earlier that was like, March 2021 creeping up in 3 months. Yeah. Me trying to process March of 2020 still.
I think I sent that in the group chat. Maybe. Because that's exactly how I feel, because it's... Oh, I don't know if I could go through another March. But yeah, it's first day of Christmas, and I'm actually kind of feeling it. I've been
be closer.
I'm really close. It's like right in front of my nose.
Okay. It just looks like it's kind of... Anyway, we're trying out different mics.
Yeah, so...
to hopefully make it sound a little better.
We're trying, but we're poor, so...
But I'm poor.
Yeah, like I was saying, it's December, and I'm actually kind of feeling it. I've been listening to some lo-fi, jazzy Christmas sort of things, and it's been nice.
Yeah, I was
enjoyable.
I listened to our squad Christmas playlist pretty much all day at work today. I gave Nat a challenge. So for anybody who doesn't know our friend Nat, he likes to creep on everybody's Spotify.
My mom is calling us.
Great.
Well, my mom is calling me. I'm sorry.
She returns.
Trout, come here.
Hi, Bella.
Please don't sit there and just pant at me. Okay.
It is the Trout Show. Here to pant.
I mean, I would watch it.
I don't think I would listen to it, though.
I might listen to it.
I already listen to it all the time, and like, you know, not the best.
It's
like
just
entertainment wise
all the time.
Yeah, that's just my life.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was a fun break of me sitting in silence because I couldn't think of anything to say. Anyway, we can cut that out.
Yeah.
Anyway,
you were listening
back to so our friend Nat likes to creep on everybody. Like when on Spotify, if you're friends with people, you can like see what they're listening to. So he likes to do that. And I gave him a challenge to just keep a tally of every time he creeps on me on Spotify, and I'm just only listening to Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence.
Aww.
Because I do that. I'm such a fucking goblin when it comes to listening to music, because I'll just be like, especially when I'm alone, I'll just like hear a song and be like, yeah, I'm really vibing with that. Let me just listen to it 16 times in a row before I let it go on to the next song.
I can't do that. I don't know why. I can't do that. Gotta mix it up. I think that's what helps me appreciate every individual song that I hear, is just like mixing it up a lot. So yeah, I couldn't do that. I know the one album you were listening to for a long time, it's just like what I associate that with, and I was like, I couldn't do that. It's
I do that so much with music. A, because I'm uncultured piece of trash, and I just like don't find new music ever because that's just I hate doing that. I don't know. I like if I start to listen to a song like when I'm trying to find new music, like if it doesn't just like grab me immediately, I'm like I'm bored, I don't care anymore. So it's hard for me to find new music. Basically, I just only find new music through you guys.
that's fair.
Like, you present it to me, and I'm like, okay.
I
So I just, like, go on loops of just listening to the same shit, literally always. Because I just don't know how to find new music.
the way I find new music is basically Spotify is like, hey, this might be interesting
See,
to you.
I try to
And
do,
then
like,
I,
the Discover
put it on in the
playlists and
background.
stuff, and then I just, like, I get bored.
I just put it on in the background and I don't like hyper focus on it. So every once in a while I'll, hear something and I'll be like, oh, you know what? I'm really vibing with this. I'll just save this for later. And so, like, if I don't vibe with it, it's fine.
Yeah, see, I
Just
guess
move.
for me, it's just, like, when I'm listening to music, I pretty much am listening to it. Because
Yeah.
it's there to keep me from any background noise ever is there to keep me from having thoughts. So I have to be listening to it.
That's fair.
Like I rarely am just like having like just background noise.
It's like at the forefront of your brain activity.
Cuz if I'm wanting to think like actually think about other stuff, I can't have music usually.
I can have
Or if I
music,
do,
but
it
it's,
has
like,
to be
instrumental.
like instrumental and it has to fit the mood of whatever I'm thinking about, which is a struggle.
Yeah. Well, that's what helps me is because like I don't need to think to do a lot of things.
See, I just like my brain never shuts the fuck up. So if I don't have something else to focus on, I'm just focusing on how everything is awful and I'm having too many thoughts all the time.
That's fair. I get that when I'm alone and it's quiet. But I don't know. It comes in waves. Like that's what I would call an anxiety attack. So
That's just my day to day.
like all the time is probably like not good.
But that's why sometimes even like that will overpower music and then that's when I have to listen to podcasts or live streams or something and have like an actual person talking at me, so I'm like having a dialogue in my brain about a thing instead of just lyrics, because it also gets to the point where if I don't know the lyrics to whatever I'm listening to, so I can't sing along with it and then have that occupy my brain, or if I just like don't care about whatever I'm listening to, then I just will go off on that brain won't shut the fuck up
Yeah.
thing.
That's understandable. If I was like driving or something that wouldn't require a bit more focus, then I would definitely have to have something that really, speaks to me. So, like, even when I'm drawing, I'll just zone out. Like, I'm so focused on doing whatever I'm doing on the screen. It's just like, I can hear the music, and, sometimes it'll just, like, get through to me. But most times I'm like, I'll just have it in the background. It's fine.
Yeah, I just like my brain is never silent.
Yeah. I can skip a few songs if I'm not really feeling it or if I like particularly don't like it, but if I'm like indifferent, I just leave it. It's fine.
But yeah, it's just a struggle for me to find new music cause I'm like, I want to really vibe with this. So then I like get on the Discover playlist or whatever and then skip like 10 songs. And then I'm like, well, I'm tired of doing this. I guess I'll just go listen to whatever I've been listening to forever.
Yeah. That's why I think it's really good to we have an amalgamation playlist that I've been kind of biting into again because it's fun. And I think Nat
it's like,
and Bree have added some more onto
I
it
add
lately.
stuff to it every once in a while. There's like, it's several days long.
Yeah, it's
a
a
very long
big playlist. And if I'm not particularly like vibing to the specific song that's on, I'll skip it or skip a couple because like
I end up skipping a lot. Just there's so much on there that like sometimes I like most of what's on there.
Mm-hmm.
Not all of it.
That's fair.
With a playlist that long by so
Yeah.
many people, that's just bound to happen.
Yeah.
But like there's so many different vibes on there. So like just to kind of depending on your mood, it's like, okay, I'm not feeling this right now. Gotta skip a couple till you get to something where you're like, okay,
yeah,
this is my vibe right now.
Yeah. I think that's why I've just been listening to like YouTube has a lot of lo-fi, Christmas vibe, whatever.
Yeah.
And I just keep putting that on because it's calm. It's nice.
Yeah. I do like a lot of... Christmas music is kind of a struggle, right? Because I genuinely like most of the songs.
Mm-hmm.
But I hate if, like... Kind of a general rule across the board is if it's being played in a store, like on a store's playlist or channel or whatever, it's a shitty cover. And it shouldn't exist, in my opinion. They're just like, every cover of every Christmas song I listen to, like there are some of like the older kind of classic ones that are public domain now, so they're on basically everything and those are fine. But like every free cover, whatever, that stores have access to or they pay little to no money for them, like to play it in there, there's just, I hate all of them.
Yeah.
But like our playlist that we put together for our Christmas one, there's like a few songs that I just don't like the song on there that I'll skip every once in a while, but like most of them I really like.
Yeah.
It's just like a struggle of like, oftentimes when I start to hear Christmas music, it's being played in stores and stuff because they start to play it super early and it's just like...
It's not fun.
I hate Christmas music. But then I turn on... will complain about the Christmas music playing out on the floor and then I go into receiving and turn on my own Christmas music.
Well, it's like country music. Anytime I hear country music on the radio, I'm like, this sucks. This is awful. And then I'll go home and I'll listen to like... my own country music, like fucking Jolene or whatever, and I'm like, this is a bop. So
give me some Dolly Parton, some Reba.
It's great. Yeah, I'll listen to Jolene and Fancy all the time, but I won't listen to modern country music because it's not fun. Yeah. But yeah, and I think you definitely get the brunt of the overwhelming Christmas crap because you work in retail.
Shouts out to all my retail bitches.
Yeah.
We're all going through misery.
You survived Black Friday during a pandemic.
Here's the thing. I'm fortunate to work in receiving, so I didn't see any customers all day on Friday.
Good.
Pretty much. I rarely am out on the floor anymore, which is like, I do, because I love being a bookseller. I do like actually interacting with customers for the most part, like when I get to actually have conversations with people. But just the general retail bullshit, I hate.
That's fair.
It's just annoying.
Yeah.
Like today, for example, I went to customer service to clock out for lunch. Like, I have my shit in my hands. And of course, that's when a customer comes up and is like, I need you to tell me where all of these board games are. And I'm like, literally, they're right behind you. Bitch, I want to eat.
Did you look at all?
Well, that's no, it was this lady. She specifically was like, she was, Christmas shopping for people. And she had Settlers of Catan in her hands. And she was like, my daughter asked me for Settlers of Catan. Is this it? And I'm like, dude, it literally says that on the box. Like, I don't know.
If you... I would have just been like, lady, if you can't read, I think you're in the wrong store.
God, I wish I could say it to people so bad.
I would be so awful with that because I can't hold back.
See, you say that, but I have never once in my life seen you interact with a stranger without a customer service voice and being like the most polite person.
It's all a front. I've also never really encountered like a Karen moment.
I don't think that you would like actually say anything. I know you too well.
Stop telling the internet I'm squishy.
A Karen would yell at you and you would probably cry.
Shut the fuck up. Burst into tears. I mean, yeah, you're probably right. I'm not happy about it, but you're probably right. Calling me out on my own fucking podcast.
What are friends for?
So
just like customers in general, fucking annoying.
It's hard to deal with because I feel like so many people take their anger issues out on people who are in service like that, and I feel like it's absolutely not right.
Yeah,
because these people are not your punching bags.
It's also just like people. I gotta wonder how many people just like don't have manners at all, or like just for some reason think that people in the service industry are not worthy of you using your manners. Just like people being generally just rude.
Yeah. I don't understand that mindset that people in the service industry are below you.
Yeah.
Because literally they work so hard.
Well, and also, if the pandemic has taught us anything, it's that the entire country falls apart if the people on the bottom in the service industry are not there. So,
yeah.
All the rest of y'all can quit working for months or whatever, and, you know, the country can keep moving, but, like, people in stores and shit and selling you food? Nah, fam.
I feel like this entitlement just, like, needs to go away, honestly. And I think that people in these industries should be allowed to respond like a person.
Yeah, okay, there used to be, it is very sadly closed now, but there used to be, like, a nerd pub in Fort Collins that we would go to, and they would have, like, I forget what it was called, but they would have, like, a special day. I think they did it once a week or once a month, where basically the employees were allowed to react like assholes to any customers that were assholes to them. And in part it was like a fun thing where you could go in and just kind of like heckle the waitstaff so that they would be shitty to you, and it was like funny. But also if somebody was like genuinely being an asshole, they could just be like, hey, fuck you, douchebag, and not get in trouble for it.
Honestly,
and I think like everyone should be allowed to do that, just always.
I agree, because it's a human reaction, and I feel like that's part of humanity. Like,
and I'm not even saying that like I should be able to be like, hey, fuck you, douchebag, to every asshole who comes into the store, but like I would like to be able to say the petty things that I want to say, or the like passive aggressive things that I want to say without like my job being in jeopardy.
Exactly, yeah. I feel like you should be able to respond like a person.
Also, just like
among
when people ask stupid questions, I want to give them stupid answers. Like when I'm walking around and I have my name tag and I'm like moving store shit around and somebody comes up and goes, "Do you work here?" No.
No, I'm just in it for the fashion.
Nah, I'm just wearing the name tag and moving this shit around in this store for giggles.
I do find that, like, really stupid. Because, like, I've never asked a person if they worked there.
Like, they're not trying to ask a stupid question, but I'm always just like, that's such a stupid question.
Yeah. I always say,
let me give you a pointer. If you're trying to get attention from a retail employee, just go, hi, can I ask you a question? Also, every time somebody comes up to me and they're like, I'm looking for a book, and I just want to be like, no shit.
Oh my god, in a bookstore? Wild.
You're in the wrong store. I don't know what to tell you. Like, again, no, they're not, like, trying to ask a stupid question. They're just, like, trying to open a dialogue, but it's like, no shit, you're looking for a book. You're in a bookstore.
Yeah, the amount of stupid questions that you get on a daily basis is probably, like, astronomical.
Also, when I'm selling somebody a membership and I've told them like 6 times that it costs money, and then I get to that, like, them paying, and they're like, wait, does it cost money? I want to be like, yeah, bitch, you signed the thing that says it costs money. I don't know why I told you like 6 times.
Yeah,
I make a point to say it several times every time I give the spiel because I know you're not listening. Jesus. Anyway, from him.
Like, yeah.
Just see, this is what happens when we just don't have, like, plot points planned out.
I mean, it's been all over the place, but whatever.
It's fine. That's what podcasts are. Right?
Yeah. I think that especially during this season, everybody's really high strung. Just fucking be nice to people. It's not that hard.
Yeah,
for real. It blows my mind that people in the service industries can't say things like that. Like, they're not allowed to unless their job is going to be in peril.
Right.
And I think that's very wrong.
Yeah, like,
because they're literally just being abused.
Yeah, I'm not even asking to, like, cuss out customers as fun as that would be. But, like...
Right, but just to respond and be like, dude, that's... No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Anyway.
I feel like service industry people have earned the right to be sassy, you know?
I agree.
So, what? It literally started snowing today, December 1st.
I wondered that, because it didn't, at least not that I saw. There's no windows in receiving. I'm just in a box.
Yeah.
And sometimes I open the door and the sun is gone. But that's always, like, shocking around this time of year, because I go take out the trash periodically. And, like, you know, at one point I'll be outside at, like, 3 o'clock. And then at 5 o'clock, when the UPS guy comes to pick up, I open the door and it's dark out. And I'm like, what? What happened? Like, I don't see the transition. So it's like when you go to the movies and it's daytime, but then you walk out and it's nighttime and you're like, what the fuck? God.
How long was I in there?
To me, like, every day.
Good lord.
It's a little jarring.
Yeah.
But I wondered that, because I don't think it snowed at work, but there was, like, the roads were wet when I was on my way home, and I was like, huh, did a thing happen?
Yeah, it was just, like, a little tiny bit of snow, and it didn't really stay around, but so my dad and I are doing work on the basement. I was carrying several buckets of water up the stairs so I could pour it onto the very dead grass, because I didn't want our drain to get too overwhelmed. It was literally, I was telling Kat earlier, it was literally just like we were stooges. Like, we're working on the plumbing because it's old and it's, like, galvanized, so it needs to be replaced. And fucking we turned the main water valve off, or we thought we did, and it just, like, it kept going for whatever reason. The hot water turned off, but the cold water just continued. So my dad, like, he is cutting a part of the board to put on the wall. And it's this huge, like, literally whiteboard material. I help him bring it in to the laundry room. And I'm just kind of, like, in the corner with the board, like, just holding it while he's trying to, like, measure out where the faucets are, because we can't, like, figure it out until the board is, like, right up against the wall. And this pipe is still leaking. And we just, like, hung a bucket on it. And he's like, okay, take the bucket off. And he takes the bucket off. So I'm just shoving this board against the wall while there's just water just falling everywhere, all over the wood downstairs. Just, like, everywhere. He marks it, drills it super fast, and we put the wall on, and or he marks it, and then we're just kind of, like, scrambling to figure out what to do with all this water that's happening. So he, like, wraps his finger in duct tape and, like, takes the duct tape off his finger and, like, shoves it in the pipe with the water, and it stops for, like, 3 seconds and then rockets out of the pipe, hits him along with, like, a huge, like, bolt of water. And luckily I was, like, behind the board. So I was protected that time. And he's like, this isn't working. So he just, like, grabs a towel and, like, shoves it at it so it doesn't stop leaking, but it stops pouring on him for a second. We get the wall on, and to get the wall on, we had to take the towel off. So I took the towel off, and again we got sprayed. And this time I got soaked. So it was a disaster. There are 2 things I hate with the manual labor jobs that my dad has me do, and that's digging. I hate digging, and I hate plumbing. Plumbing is the worst because you always end up wet. It's awful. Anybody who says they don't do windows has never dug anything with a shovel in their life. It fucking sucks.
Yeah, like, especially here, because the ground is so dry and awful that, like, you get like 2 inches down and it's just clay.
Yeah,
it's just, like, solid. You might as well be trying to dig through fucking concrete.
Yeah, I have broken one of my boots by trying to dig because oh god, one of the dogs just ripped one. I, like, shoved the shovel down into the dirt, and I got past, like, the layer of dirt, got to the clay, and was jumping on the shovel with my full force, and it, like, bent the, like, metal rod in my boot that keeps it, like, level on my foot. It bent it, so anytime I put on that shoe, it was just very tight. But, yeah, that's what I did today. It was not fun. It's funny now.
So, okay, if you guys are 2 of the 3 Stooges, which one are you?
I'd probably be Curly. Like,
fair.
Yeah, you know.
Since you guys can't see, Kate just pulled at her curly hair. Which is currently curly because you took a shower today.
I washed myself because I took a previous shower that was not very fun.
That's why you were so cold.
I was freezing because our basement is concrete and freezing. I got sprayed with cold water and my clothes did not dry for a while. And then I came upstairs to warm up and I just, like, didn't move. So Kat got home, stole the shower from me.
I used all the hot water.
You didn't tell me you needed one. No. It was totally my fault because I procrastinated getting in the shower. I was
also, you should know by now that if I get in the shower before you, then you're just not going to have any hot water left.
I didn't know you were going in the shower. I thought you were pooping.
Well, I was pooping before I got in the shower.
Well, see.
You gotta poop before you get in the shower. You don't want to poop after your shower. That just ruins the shower.
Yeah. Don't poop in the shower either.
Yeah, definitely don't do that.
It'd be a bad time.
Imagine getting in the shower and not only you gotta pull hair out of the drain, but then there's just a turd in there.
The turd in the shower is just me. I do that all the time. I have to pull myself out of the shower. So what is your favorite Christmas tradition?
I think watching Christmas movies.
Yeah.
With whoever. I always will watch movies with my mom, or we watch movies together. It's just good bonding time.
It really is.
It's there's no stress. You just vibe in. You get some
cozy
snacks. You watch some just old nostalgic movies. You wrap up in your blankie.
Oh yeah.
You comment on how kind of racist they are.
Yeah.
Or propaganda. I'm looking at you, Santa Claus is coming to town.
Man, I haven't seen that in a long time. Yeah, Rudolph
is very sexist.
I have a meme from Rudolph saved on my phone, I think, and it's just abnormalities aren't great until they're monetized or something.
Yeah.
Aren't seen as valuable until they're monetized.
Yeah.
Or useful.
I just always think about the fucking scene in Rudolph where Rudolph is gone and Donner is oh, I have to go find him, and Mrs. Donner, because she doesn't even have a name, and Clarice are we'll come help you, and Donner's no, this is man's work, and then goes and gets fucking captured by the snow monster.
He's not even a man.
Right?
He's
even Santa's an asshole in that movie, though.
Yeah. I mean, it's not.
It's not a good so mean. It's just I almost watch it out of obligation. I'm yeah, I gotta watch Rudolph. I enjoy it for nostalgia reasons, but then the whole time I'm watching it, I'm this is bad.
Yeah.
Everyone's awful. Except for Hermie.
Everyone is awful except for Yukon Cornelia.
Yes. Wholesome.
Yeah, no movies can stand up to Klaus anymore
really
because it's gorgeous. It has a lovely, sad but wholesome story, and
I was thinking about that earlier today. I was I can't wait to watch Klaus. I do, though. I also really love the Polar Express.
Yeah, I also love the Polar Express. My family has a specific movie that we watch every Christmas. It's mandatory. It's the Muppet Christmas Carol with Michael Caine, and it's fantastic. I love it so much. It's a classic, honestly.
I had never seen that one until I watched it with you.
It has music in it
Yeah.
that is just so good.
I also really like the original Miracle on 34th Street.
Yeah. The remake was on today, and because our TV is astronomically loud, I got to listen to the whole thing while I was working on the basement. While I was sawing a pipe in the basement, I could still hear our TV upstairs on the other side of the house.
Too goddamn loud.
Yeah. That's just
You know what I think is interesting about the two is you would think the older one would be more like Christian centric, but it's not.
No, the new one
The newer one is.
Yeah.
Which is like, I mean, it doesn't surprise me that either of them is, but I think it's interesting that it's the newer one and not the older one.
Versus the two of them.
Because if it's like, if I remember correctly, with the newer one, the way that the little girl convinces the court that Santa deserves to be let free or whatever. I haven't seen the newer one in a long time because I don't like it as much.
We
is
trust.
Because she like circles that on the dollar bill or whatever, and the judge is like, "You right, Jesus, goodbye, go be Santa." Whereas in the original one, they like prove that Trout, please, that he's like the real Santa by
all the
bringing
mail
in all of the mail that was like being sent to him to Santa Claus,
which makes a lot more sense to me instead of just being for God.
Yeah, like it makes a lot more sense to be like, well, obviously the post office, which is a government entity, recognizes this man as Santa Claus, so obviously he's the real Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Also, it's just cute.
Yeah. Honestly, I think one of my favorite things about Christmas is Santa.
Yeah.
Just this idea of this character who is basically a backer for kids to like, he's supportive of children no matter where they come from or anything. I think that kids kind of need like a superhero.
Yeah, that's why like it's not really a Christmas movie, but I always think of it as a Christmas movie, the Rise of the Guardians movie, because Santa is such a... It doesn't even take place during Christmas. It's like mostly during Easter, but for some reason I just associate it with Christmas. But like the idea of like the Guardians of Childhood just is, I mean, exactly that. Being like wholesome. These characters who are there to like support kids
and protect
and make sure that they get to keep their innocence and their imagination. But also that is like my absolute favorite version of Santa.
Honestly,
is like vagabond Russian tattooed Santa from Rise of the Guardians.
I do really like the Klaus one.
Same, I do. They're kind of similar.
They are very similar, and I do really like the Miracle on 34th Street. Both of those Santas were pretty good.
Yeah.
I hate Tim Allen, so now that Santa is ruined, even though I thought that he was a really good Santa.
Yeah, it's such a bummer because those, at least the first one, I don't really remember the other ones very well, but I liked the first Santa Claus movie, but Tim Allen is such a piece of shit, like it's just kind of ruined and I don't want to watch them anymore.
Same. So I don't really want to watch them, but I do love Santa as a character. He's absolutely one of my favorite characters in mythology or anything, really. He's just wholesome and good, and I think that kids need that feeling of support,
Yeah. I was thinking about this earlier, too, though, because I was, like, while I was listening to our Squad Grimace playlist, we have a lot of the Polar Express songs on there, and I always just think about the one kid, the poor kid in that movie who was like, I don't really believe in Santa because I'm poor and I've never gotten presents before.
Yeah.
So like I always kind of think about that.
Yeah.
Like how
poor
kids don't really have that character, even though they might believe in Santa or maybe they still get something depending on their home life, but like everybody else is like getting something from Santa, and then there's the poor kid who's like, I got to eat.
Yeah.
That was cool. Like,
yeah. It's very upsetting.
Yeah. That, like, especially since those are the kids who kind of need it the most.
Yeah.
And they don't really get that.
I think that's why every time I watch the Charlie Brown Christmas special, it gets more and more valid. It's like, I'm so very tired of the consumerism.
Yeah.
And, like, the thing with Santa is giving gifts is a very large part of Christmas, but I think it would be very beneficial to many people to spend their Christmas in different ways.
Yeah.
Like just being with your family is great, but I have always wanted to volunteer, and not just during Christmas, but like especially during Christmas, you know. I think that it's important to have this feeling of generosity and not just expressing that in a monetary way.
Yeah. I get you. That's just like, I mean, we've already talked about this on 2 other episodes, but the hardest thing about Christmas is the more, it becomes more commercialized every year.
Mm-hmm. And it's hard to get away from that because you do want to, like, give gifts to those you love, but it's also, like, I don't want to contribute to all of this either. Yeah. So it's hard to balance it. And obviously this year I can't really volunteer because I ain't leaving the house.
Can't do shit.
Yeah.
You know what else? Just like because I was thinking about the Christmas music again.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Okay. You know in A Holly Jolly Christmas, there's like the one line where it's like, the mistletoe is hung for all to see, someone waits for you, kiss her once for me. That's weird. To be like, hey, kiss your wife for me.
Saucy.
Like, is that not weird?
I think that's funny.
Just like,
I mean, it could be taken like a give her a hug for me, but it's a little more intimate.
Yeah.
So that's weird. That is funny.
I just was like, I was listening to that song, and one of the managers was in the back with me at the time. He was just like packing stuff up, and we hadn't been talking to each other, and I just heard that line in the song, and I just looked at him, and I was like, you know what? And he was like, what? And I was like, that's fucking weird, right? Like, that's so weird to be like, hey, kiss your wife for me. And I winked at him, and he was like, oh God, you're right, that was weird. Like,
that is weird.
When I just get into like rabbit holes in my brain where I just overthink shit like that. See, this is why I have to have things going on so I don't just like keep thinking.
That's fair. I saw a TikTok today that was pure gold where this guy was doing a cover of the Michael Buble cover of Santa Baby. But he made it like really like just like really awkward where he's like hitting on Santa, but he's not, like, he's like trying to be like no homo about it, but it just keeps getting more homo. It's brilliant. I love it. I think that's so funny. Like, Michael Buble is a coward.
Right?
Not hoeing out for Santa? What the fuck?
Come on.
Come on. If you're gonna do a cover of Santa Baby, be prepared to hoe out for Santa. Right? Like, that's the whole point of the song.
Just go for it, man.
Right?
No, that'd be gay.
No homo, Santa. Can't be homo to a non-real historical figure.
Okay. But also, just, again, brain rabbit hole. How uncomfortable is that for Santa? Like, you go in everybody's house, you just doing your job. You're like, man, I can't wait to get back to the missus. And then, like, half the houses you go to, there's somebody just, like, being horny for you.
Santa's I'm a married man.
Santa's just, like, this old man with a wife, and people just out here simping for him. waiting up in lingerie, like, ooh, Santa. And he's like, I'm just here to deliver toys. What kind of toys you got? Ah!
None for you, bitch. It's only coal. Just be like, Santa, you got the wrong guy. Wait for Krampus. Yeah, that would be weird. Santa's just trying to do his job.
You're just like at work and there's just all these hoes out of here. It's like, you need me. And you're just like, I just want to give you stuff. I'm here to deliver to the children.
You me me.
You Santa. Poor Santa.
I don't think he's poor. You gotta have lots of money to do that.
Yeah. What? Okay.
Like, where's
Santa Claus is coming
funds?
to town, right? There's like the family of the dwarves, whatever, elves, people who just like live in the woods, in the mountains, just building toys for however. Like, where are they getting the supplies to build their toys since they can't go to town?
Who the fuck knows? They go out and they chop their own fucking wood.
I mean, what about all the how they make it nails and
Make your own
tools
nails
and like paint.
Don't be
in
a
the
pansy.
middle of the fucking frozen wasteland.
Make your own nails. They conjure magic nails. I don't know, man. I don't think we were supposed to think of the logistics of Santa Claus.
See, this is why I just need my brain to shut the fuck up sometimes. We're supposed to be busy thinking about how the Germans are awful. You're right.
What?
That's the whole, that movie is anti-German propaganda.
Oh. Yeah, I guess I have not seen that movie in a long time, and I also did not remember half of it because now I'm just thinking of the villain.
Yeah. Burgermeister Burger.
Fucking name, man.
Because
that's the Burger King's real name.
Burger King's a Nazi?
Oh my god.
This is why I can't enjoy media. You just think about it too much. I also get needlessly upset every time I watch Rudolph, and I'm like, but the girl deer is supposed to have horns.
Well, obviously
they don't even look like reindeer.
They are not modeled after caribou, at all. So they don't look like reindeer at all. They look like white-tailed deer.
Yeah. You know what's one, though, one of the old claymation ones that I actually do like, for whatever reason, is the Little Drummer Boy.
Yeah. I watched it, I think last year we watched it during our annual Christmas movie marathon. I don't remember a whole lot about it, to be honest. I just, I don't retain anything. Head empty.
Head empty, and I like it that way.
I don't like it that way.
I wish head was empty. Bitch, shut the fuck up. I feel like I always liked the Little Drummer Boy, A, because I like the song. B, because, I just relate to Aaron.
The animals
hate
everywhere.
People, just want to wander around in the desert with my animal friends and my drum.
I mean,
and
that's
just
relatable.
vibe.
Yeah. I feel that. One of the old claymation ones is which one is that where the heat miser and the snow miser?
I've actually never seen that one.
It's good. Fuck, what is it called?
I know what you're talking about, but I've never seen it.
Yeah, it's I've been seeing so many people like dressing up as the heat miser and the snow miser, and I'm like, that's so cute. It's honestly so cute. We should watch it. It's a good one. It's a classic. Also, Mrs. Claus in that movie gets shit done.
I just remembered. Do you remember that fucking awful one that we watched last year about the horse who wanted to be a reindeer? God, what was that one called?
Elliot.
Yeah. I just remembered, like, why is Mrs. Claus so thick? Santa is coming this year.
That's one of the quotes that needs to, like, go into the yearbook.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna start it next year, is just write down quotes adamantly about what we all do, or write down quotes that we say during the year, and then at the end of the year just have a fucking drinking game.
Yeah.
Whoever said this has to drink it. Whoever gets it wrong has to drink.
That movie was weird, though.
It was wild.
Just like, you know, you ever go down just a Netflix rabbit hole and you're like, I'll just watch this movie and it, like, the art looks kind of cute, so it might be good or it might just be horrible.
It was
and
bad.
It was bad. It was just, like, weird.
It was pretty to look at.
It was very pretty.
But
he was like
animation
Elliot,
was
like
good.
The horse was very cute.
Yeah.
The reindeer looked kind of weird.
Yeah. They were very stylized.
Yeah.
The movie was cute to look at, but the story is awful.
Well, and it's like a cute premise because it's like this little farm horse that just wants to be on like Santa's team,
which already happened with Annabelle's Christmas, with Annabelle's Wish. Excuse me.
Well,
and it was a cow.
She was a cow, not a horse.
Well, too bad. The whole fucking story already happened, and it was more sad and more meaningful.
But yeah, like, cute premise of just a little farm pony who, like, he helped, like, train the reindeer or whatever, and then he wanted to be on the team, but then the reindeer made fun of him because he's a tiny little pony.
Yeah.
It was like a cute premise, but then it was just like, this is weird.
Yeah,
it was like, all over the place.
Yeah, it was really all over the place. And there was the goat that just kept eating everything. It was wild.
Yeah. And Mrs. Claus was like real fucking thick.
She was dummy thick for no fucking reason. There were other female characters not as thick as Mrs. Claus. Like, that's not the equivalent to making her a fat old lady. She was thick.
Like, they just, instead of making her fat, they just put all the fat in her butt cheeks.
Yeah.
And her thighs.
She literally had, like, Pixar mom ass.
Yeah.
Like, what? Why? Why?
The animation was cute, though.
Yeah. It
But
was
the story
pretty
was
to look at. Yeah. You could screenshot it and it would be cute, but like, that's all it's good for.
Yeah.
Animation team did a real good job. Story team.
I think that would have been one of those movies that would be fun to just like mute it and then we do the dialogue.
We should do that this year. Spike some eggnog and let's do it.
I don't like eggnog.
Well, spike your fucking cider then.
Put spirits in my hot cocoa.
And put spirits in your alcohol.
Put some alcohol in your alcohol.
So you can drink while you drink. But yeah, I always get excited this time of year because just everywhere deer are popping up. And half of them like are not reindeer, but I'm like, I don't care. It's deer.
I know what you meant, but I'm just imagining like actual deer everywhere.
That would be wonderful.
Like, popping out of the ground.
They're just like growing by the antlers. Just very audible. And it's a deer. That would definitely be my favorite time of year. I just love the fact that just about every holiday has like an animal that goes with it. Like Halloween has black cats and bats and, creepy crawlies, ravens and crows and spiders or whatever. Christmas has deer, mainly deer.
And polar bears.
And polar bears,
And
yeah.
penguins.
Yeah. Anything snowy.
Burbs.
Yeah.
Burbs. Oh, I want to go look at the burbs at Target.
Yes.
Like, okay. Any of my fellow bitches out here who just love Target for no fucking reason. Like, they have the little birds that they have for all the holidays. They like started this a couple years ago where they just like have all these little birds. And they're so fucking cute. They just got their little clothes and they all have names. I love looking at the little birds. Even though I can't buy any more of them because I don't have anywhere to put them, but.
Yeah. Do you know the name of your bird in your car?
Mine actually, okay, so mine is like from the first year they started doing it. They didn't have little name tags yet, but his name is Petey.
Aww. I have a little crow in my car, and he sits on my dashboard, and he has a top hat. His name is Dapper.
And he has a little safety pin mustache because it got too hot in your car and his beak fell off.
And he looked mildly perturbed about it. Oh.
Just like in the position that he's in, it just looked like he was looking down at his beak on the dash, like, oh no.
Like when your ice cream falls out. Like, oh. That's literally just like what it looked like. But yeah, I love those birds.
They're just so cute.
What's the Valentine's Day mascot?
I don't know.
Bears.
I hate Valentine's Day.
I don't really care about
it's
it
just
either,
like,
really. Easter has lambs and like bunnies, and that's fun.
Chickens.
Chicks. Thanksgiving and like fall things have the turkey and foxes are very common. I just love seasonal animal things.
Yeah.
I think it's fun.
But yeah, I'm getting into the vibes.
Yeah.
And it's nice.
I hope it doesn't leave, because usually it does just like immediately leave.
I know. See, and that's part of the reason that, again, like I don't like Christmas needs to stay in its lane, because like you get excited too early and then it's just like,
then you're all burnt out by the time Christmas actually shows up.
Yeah, exactly. Like you go too hard into the beginning and then it's just like, well, this sucks.
Now I'm tired.
Over it.
Yeah. And then it's not the same.
Yeah.
Maybe this year, because so much shit has happened this year that it's just been chaos for literally everyone that I know. So I hope that this year is very calm and we all really start to appreciate what we do have. Yeah. And appreciate the people that we still have.
Yeah. I'm glad that I'm getting into the vibes though, because just, we talked about this on another episode, but like a couple weeks ago I just was like so angry about Christmas, and I was like, I don't even want to celebrate it this year because I'm just so mad about all of this bullshit. I'm so tired of it. So, and I was like worried that I wouldn't actually get into the vibe.
Yeah.
But I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
Which is good. I don't want to not feel it.
Yeah, that's very valid. I think it's hard to balance it when you've got so much going on, and Christmas is very overwhelming right out of the gate. But it's very interesting to me how easily music puts me in a completely different mindset.
Right?
I really do think it's just like the music, the calm Christmas music that I have been finding, and, handpicking out different ones that I actually really like. Like, one of my very favorite ones is one that you showed me, is the Last Christmas cover by Frank Turner. And it's one of my favorites because it's very cute and kind of sad, but just his voice is really nice. So it's nice to listen to. And I don't know. I'm here for it though. Like, as much as I fought it last month, I want to lean into it now because
and that's the thing, is like, I feel like
it's
like
allowed
I was saying,
now.
I can't lead into it immediately after Halloween like so many people do, because then I just get burnt out and then it's not fun.
You just need time, you know?
Like, just gotta get into it when it's Christmas time.
Yeah. Let Christmas be all fucking December. A whole month. That's a whole month.
Right? Like,
that should be enough.
That's plenty.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Another one of my favorite ones is... Oh, fuck, what's it called? I think it's An Angel Came Down or something. It's by Trans-Siberian Orchestra. And it's basically about the angels learning about Jesus being born. Trans-Siberian Orchestra is great. And I wish that people knew more than just the one song that is on every commercial, or like, you know, everybody the people who go
their light
all out for like their lights and stuff, and you can tune in and listen to it. Like, they all use the one song. Yeah. And it is nowhere near their best song. Like, I feel like they kind of like just, especially that song in the last several years, like, they've kind of picked up. But like, I've listened to them since I was For Always, because my mom has just listened to them for always. Aww. And like, I always remember, like, that's one of the songs though, I need to look at what
An
it's
Angel
called.
Came Down.
I think that's what it's called. But like, the man's voice is just so good. I don't want to get like copyright in trouble, so I'm not going to play it on here, but I'll show it to you. Okay. So you know which one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you've heard it because it's on our playlist. But,
right.
But
I don't retain anything. I'm like a goldfish. You have to show me something like 500 times for me to really understand anything.
I feel that. But yeah, I just really like that song.
Yeah.
Also, just like, instrumental covers of most Christmas songs are just...
They're good.
Yeah.
I like instrumental covers of many songs.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely, I can listen to instrumental or singing. It just works really well, I think.
Depends on like what I'm doing and what kind of mood I'm in, but yeah.
And man, we were talking about singing in the group chat. I wanted, because I've been thinking about this a lot. I wanted to put it out there. I love listening to my friends' voices. Like,
same.
I love the joy that they seem to be expressing.
Okay, can we talk about how satisfying it is every time we've been like driving around and we can get Emily to sing with us?
It's so satisfying. I don't want to like draw attention to it.
Yeah, I don't.
She's very shy, but like it warms my heart when we all sing together, because it's just an expression of pure joy, and I love it.
And it is like, I think for many people, like, singing in front of other people is like kind of a vulnerable act, because everybody who's not like, who doesn't do singing for like a hobby or their job or whatever, is like really self-conscious about it.
Yeah.
So like, when you do get to a point where you can get your friends to be comfortable enough to sing around you, it's just very satisfying. Yeah. It's very wholesome. It feels good.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like,
I've accepted that I'm not the best singer.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure I'm tone deaf, but I'm having a good time.
Yeah, but it's joyful. It's fun. And
it like feels good.
Feels like camaraderie, really. Yeah.
And it's just like I'm always singing to whatever I'm listening to, pretty much.
Yeah.
I used to get really self-conscious about singing in front of other people. I'm blaming my brother Because I used to just like sing all the time when I was a little kid, and then I just remember I have like one specific memory of my brother like coming into my room and being like, "Shut up, you're so annoying," and then I just like stopped singing in front of people for a long time.
No,
Because my brother's a bitch.
that's awful.
Yeah.
That's so awful. Because
Anyway, but like, so I just quit singing in front of people for a long time. But I'm like, it's hard for me to not sing along to songs that I know when I'm listening to music, and it kind of got to the point, like, even when I was afraid to actually sing in front of people, I was always just like mouthing the words, because I just like, it's hard for me to just not do that.
yeah,
And when I was lifeguarding, we would always have the radio on, and it just got to the point where I was just like, A, no one can hear me in this room unless I'm screaming. B, everyone else in this room is screaming, and it sounds awful.
yeah,
So I'm just going to go for it.
yeah.
And then it just has sort of progressed. And now everybody I work with who comes into receiving when I'm listening to a song I really like has to deal with it.
Well, they can fucking deal.
Yeah. I also sing along to instrumental songs. Like, there doesn't have
Yeah.
to be words. I will sing songs that don't have words.
That's fair too. I do the same thing. I have like the opposite like story, because the reason why I think I just sing to whatever all the time is because when I was growing up, my brother and I, he would like pick me up from school, and we would have the house to ourselves for like quite a long time, until like 6 o'clock when my mom got home. So, when mama or dad got home. So we would just like turn up the stereo, he'd plug in his phone or whatever, or like take out his CDs, and we would just sing together, and it was fun. We would just do our chores or our homework or whatever, and just have the house blaring with whatever music, and we would just sing together. And we still sing together when we're just driving around in our car or whatever. Just, I don't know, I love singing.
Yeah.
And I know I'm not great at it, but it's so fun.
It is. And
It's
especially
just-
like with other people.
Yeah.
Because like where I was before I got off on a tangent, like so I'm always just singing, whatever. So it's fun to do by yourself. But then when you're like, specifically, just maybe it's just because this is where it happens the most, or just because like the vibe when you're driving around is just different. But when you're like, everyone in the car is all singing along, it
It's
just
so
like
good.
feels so good.
It's-
I even like a couple years ago when I did the vlogs when I went to Washington,
Yeah.
which for anybody who's listening who doesn't know, I went to Washington a couple years ago to visit my brother and sister-in-law, and I couldn't bring any of my friends. It made me really sad, so I brought my camera instead so that I could record
brought
whatever
us
I was
along
doing
with
and make videos to show them. But there were like several instances where basically we were just having like Frank Turner sing-alongs in the car.
Aw.
And I just was like, yes.
I love that
Just
your
where,
whole
like,
family
everybody-
is just like that. Because
Well,
Frank
and
Turner
especially-
has been for us too. Like,
Yeah. Well, and especially Frank Turner, because it's this particular brother is the one who introduced me to Frank Turner. And B, just like so few people know who he is that just like when I can be in a group of people who all know the songs,
Yeah.
it's just like, yes.
yeah.
That was also, did Emily and I just kind of like, did we ever fangirl about that at Mason's wedding? Because he has just introduced Frank Turner to literally everyone that he knows. So they were playing Frank Turner songs like at the reception, and just
Aw.
everybody were singing and dancing to Frank Turner songs,
That's
and it was
so
just
cute.
like, yeah,
That is really cute.
it was a good time.
I really wish that I enjoyed concerts like you guys do, because that sounds fantastic,
Yeah,
but I would probably have a bad time.
you probably would,
Yeah.
but it's a bummer that
I'm too small to see anything or like participate, so it's like I don't get the same experience.
yeah. For me, it also just depends on what kind of show
Yeah.
you're at too, because like, you know, I've been to so many Frank Turner shows, or like Flogging Molly and Rise Against and stuff, where it's like everybody, the the audience is convulsing, and it's just like there's just a feeling to being at a punk show that is different to being at like a pop show or whatever. The only like non-punk folk punk show I've ever been to was when Emily and I went to see Walk Off the Earth, and it was so different.
Really?
Because it just was like, there were a bunch of kids there, which was just like wild. Because I'm just not used to that at shows. Because I'm used to being there with a bunch of drunk adults.
Yeah.
You know, in a fucking mosh pit and whatever.
So what I'm getting from punk shows is that they're like your drunk family just like being feral.
Pretty much, yeah. Because it's like, that's one of the things that I love about it. In no other setting can I be so okay with just being touched by so many random strangers and being like so close to so many random strangers. Because it's like, if I were just in a random crowd and people were acting like that, it would be horrible. But like, you put us in like a venue listening to music that we're all vibing to, and it's like, we
fine.
family.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll lift you up. All right.
There's like a certain camaraderie with that.
Yeah.
That sounds fantastic, but I probably wouldn't have a good time. Yeah. I get overwhelmed walking around in Denver. Like, even with you guys there with me, like, during science trip, I was like, people, hold my hand, I'm scared.
To be fair, Denver sucks.
That is fair. That is fair.
I mean, there's good things about Denver, and I just don't like being in the city.
Yeah.
Because I'm a forest goblin.
You country bumpkin.
I want to live in the trees. Concrete jungle, not for me. Oh, boy. I think we should probably wrap it up before we make another 2-hour podcast.
Oh man. Okay.
Is there something else you wanted to talk about?
No, I just wanted to look at you.
I mean, we can keep doing that.
Okay.
We can get the mics out of the way. We could just cuddle.
Ooh. Then I won't be able to look at you.
We can get a mirror.
Oh. We made it one podcast without being horny. This is
but
where it ends.
It was a really long podcast, so like that was a feat, really. Okay. Bye.
Bye.